Okay, awesome. All right, you guys. Well, hey, what a great start to the year. Happy New Year to everybody officially. I can't believe it is mid-week of the first week of January. It's kind of a trip. But I'm telling you, there's so much going on. And hopefully you guys have caught Carl's National Wake Up Call on Monday. And then, of course, the surge that followed that evening. He just shared so much great stuff about what the company's doing, what we could be doing as coaches. And I know everybody is just super fired up. And that's why I wanted to get on the call tonight. And I've invited Kiana to share some of her nuggets. And so I'm going to introduce her in a little bit. But the reason why I wanted to do a call is because we are all so stoked about being a part of this community. Everybody's ready to get themselves back into shape, maybe kind of let ourselves go a little bit over the holidays, and just needs to kind of get a reboot maybe, and starting to see a little bit of a surge in their business. And there's been a lot of great information that's being rolled out from a variety of coaches, everyone from Team Fit Revolution, which is our founding coaches, Blake and Angie Warrington. Kiana's got some awesome stuff going on. A lot of you guys are aware of the New Wave community. I've got a social media boot camp going on. There's just a lot. And so what I wanted to make sure we addressed was how to best channel your focus, because there is so much going on that it's easy to get paralyzed and just kind of sit there and go, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I've been getting messages from a lot of you guys. And so it really kind of fueled the idea for this call is let's talk specifically about how you guys can use the momentum from everybody's enthusiasm about getting going with their own physical transformation. Maybe you've got people that are coming back to you saying, hey, I want to join your team now. I'm ready to go. What do I do first? And you're like, oh my God, it's been so long, I forgot. Or, oh, there's this going on, and then there's this, and there's this training, and then you got to do some social media this. Like, no. Right? So let's just kind of pare it down a little bit. And I just had a few things I wanted to cover, and then I want to give you guys off to Kiana, because she is just incredible. So before I spoil my intro to her, so just three things really. And it's probably not anything that you've not heard before, but it's really just a reminder about how you need to work your business, okay? You guys have to know what your schedule is. And what I mean by that is you have to know what you're going to be doing day in and day out, from, taking your kids to school, your own job. Maybe you've got other stuff going on, maybe in a full-time job, maybe you have a part-time job. Maybe you help out another organization, whatever it is, you have to know what that schedule is and where does Beachbody fit into that. Because if you're just kind of, throwing your paper up in the air and hoping that within, a certain segment of the day, you'll squeeze in Beachbody, you'll sit down and go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I have 15 messages in my inbox. I have 3 people that are interested in knowing about the challenge group. I've got this video that I need to watch on social media. There's all this going on. You're like, I don't know where to start. So you need to know your schedule. It's super, super important, and you need to stick with it. And what I suggest is that you actually segment your Beachbody time in 10 to 15 minute segments. So if you know you've got an hour block every single day to work your Beachbody business, you need to break it down in 10 to 15 minute chunks and actually dissect every chunk of that time into what you're specifically doing. So you have 10 minutes to do your invitations. You have 10 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes that you're following up. And then the rest of that 5 minutes, maybe you're reaching out to new people. And then another 10 minutes you're going to spend watching a video or some personal development. You just have to know what that is and when that works into your schedule and stick to it. Prioritize your week, prioritize your month, and prioritize your day. This just has to be a cycle that you get through, because if you just get in and start going balls to the wall with enthusiasm and excitement, then you're going to be like, where do I start? What do I do? Okay. Number 2, you guys, you can't do it all. And I had this conversation with a coach today, actually, she was so excited because she wants to get to Diamond. I mean, I want to see raise of hands who's not Diamond already and wants to get to Diamond. Who wants to get to Diamond? I want to see yes. Awesome. Okay. But if you're going to get to diamond, you've got to have a plan and you've got to really prioritize your time because you can't do it all. Okay. So you have to know your limits and you have to know that there's always going to be training. Your coach is always going to be available to you if you're working your business to help support you. Don't feel like just because there's the New Wave community, there's a new Emerald training, there's a new social media boot camp, there's new challenge group running, your coach is running. You don't have to do it all. You have to sit down and actually talk to your coach and say, here's my goals. Where do I start and what do I do first? Because I am overwhelmed with all these groups and stuff. You can't do it all. So just pick one and just knock it out of the park and then add something else. When you've really done well with that one thing, you've really gotten some good nuggets out of social media training, if that's what your next step is, then move on to the next training. But master something first. Don't be like a puppy and pee all over the place, right? Everyone kind of gets what that is. Like if you've ever had a puppy or a kitten, they just pee everywhere. And that's kind of what you do when you're excited and you just want to like do a little bit of everything because you see one coach doing this and another coach doing this and they're both really nailing their business and you just kind of want to do it all, but you can't. So know what you can and cannot do. Okay, lastly is I want you to make sure you ask yourself if your activity is income producing. Scrolling through the Facebook news is not necessarily income producing. It may be kind of starting to get the wheels turning as far as people you could follow up with and talk to, but it's not necessarily income producing. If you're just scrolling through people's stuff, looking at their pictures, liking other Beachbody coaches' stuff, right? Yes, I can. Hold on. Sorry, guys. There we go.
Oh, someone's watching something.
Oh.
A TV show.
There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I muted y'all. Okay. So my last thing I just was saying that your activity has to make sure it's income producing. Is it part of the 3 vital behaviors? Are you in the invitation process, following up with someone, working on your power of 3? Are you being a product of the product? You know, that's not going to take too much of your time. Obviously, you're working out, you're drinking Shakeology, no brainer, right? Are you doing personal development? So that has to be a part of everything. And so you need to think about yourself, is this action right now, is this activity that I'm doing going to be income producing? Obviously, focusing on a training and doing the steps that training has laid out for you is certainly going to become an income producing activity. But scrolling through Facebook, looking at everyone on Instagram is not. Maybe you take 5 minutes to go through Facebook and just decompress. Maybe you take 5 minutes to go on Instagram and maybe stalk a couple other coaches and see what they're doing. And then you turn around and you start to implement that on your end, okay? So I know I was going at like light speed, but we did start a little bit late. And we also had a few people that we had some technical difficulties, but I want to introduce Miss Kiana to you guys, and most of you guys probably already know her, and I know she's got a handful of people on her team here too, but she is an 8-star coach. She is Star Diamond coach. I mean, I'm telling you guys, she has dug me out of dark spots and when I wanted to throw in the towel, and I have honestly modeled so much of what she's done because she has built herself an incredible team. She has the most connected group and community of coaches. It's just phenomenal to watch. And she's a mom of 3 and she gets it. And you know what? It's just, she's just a fantastic person. You guys already probably know her, but I just really love what she has to share. So I wanted to invite her on our call and have her share a little bit about kind of keeping some focus. So I'm going to toss it over to you, girl. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. That was nice. I just come to Taryn when I'm feeling bad about myself, and she just does make these things. So thanks for being on the call. I'm going to get right to it. If you have me as a coach, or if you've ever seen me on a team call, I get very loud and I use my hands because I'm very passionate about what I do. So I'm not yelling at you. I'm not screaming at you. That's just what I do. And I'm in the bathroom and it's going to echo. Yes, I'm doing a team call in the bathroom because that's what I do. It's better lighting in here, and that's just what's going to happen. And I see a lot of my team on here. I love it. So they all understand, and they're like, oh my gosh, here she goes again. But I really am passionate about what I do. And I just want to tell you again and again and again, and my team hears this all the time, there is no difference between me and you, or you and someone that you admire, or you and someone that you absolutely think are thebomb.com. It's just really consistency and time. And it just really takes you doing the hard stuff when you don't want to, day after day after day after day. Don't just be here 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. You cannot build a 6-figure business in 1 year. Like you can maybe if you're crazy, like some very rare people, but most people, it takes time to see the fruits of your labor. So I'm going to give you 5 tips on just how to, I don't remember what the name of the call was, but just basically how you can set yourself up for success starting in 2016. And my team have heard some of this, but I really thought hard and long about this, and I'm just giving you the stuff that works for me. I'm all about simplicity. I'm all about telling you things that I work for me. There's no secret sauce. There's nothing that I'm hiding. I'm just going to tell you what works. So the very first thing is I read this book called Miracle Morning. Okay, if you have not read this book, you have got to read this book. So the very first tip is to find your miracle morning, okay? And what that means is he talks about in this book that you can develop this culture of success in just 6 minutes a day. When you wake up in the morning and do certain behaviors that he knows works with his clients and with other people. Now, I took this and I read the book, and then I created my own miracle morning that works for me. So starting in 2016, and I just was talking to my success partner about this, implementing it, like I just started writing this the last couple days. So here is my miracle morning and what I am choosing to do. These are things that when you get up, okay, that you know are going to set you up for success and to feel good about yourself, okay? These are steps that don't necessarily always have to do with business, but help you feel good, that help you feel happy when you wake up, okay? So for me, they're, like I said, they're not necessarily business related, and they could take a few minutes or, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter for me, my miracle morning is a little longer than 6 minutes because I do things on there that are activities that make me feel accomplished. But most of them are typically about a minute or two. Okay, so number 1 is I make my bed. I never did that before. I never thought it was a big deal. I thought it's a bunch of hogwash, these people that make their bed. But I cannot tell you the difference in the last 2 weeks. I've only been doing it for 2 weeks. Making my bed, I'm like, oh, I walk into my room and I'm like, oh, something's clean around here and it's my bed. And I love it. I love how it makes me feel. I make it in less than a minute. And if I do it every day, the sheets aren't everywhere, okay? Number 2, I create something called purposeful silence for 1 minute. I do a gratitude. I pray. I think something positive. I pray that God leads me to find 3 to 5 people that day, that I'm going to be building a lot of conversations that day, and that the right people I'm going to come across, and that my heart is open, and that I'm going to love people. Okay. And that I do that for 1 minute. My next thing that I do is I visualize what I want to see happening. Okay. 2 things for that day, and then in a year from now. And I don't just visualize it like, oh, I'm going to be a 10-star diamond, or I'm going to go to the bank and do this. Like, that's not. I literally close my eyes and I allow myself to feel what it's going to be like when I crush that goal. And whether it's not going back to work, whether it's taking my kids to Dominican Republic and seeing their faces when they go to that Success Club trip, whether it's doing, you guys are all frozen. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh my God. Shake your head, yes. Oh my gosh, you're all frozen. I'm just going to keep, okay, Sabrina's talking. Okay, shakes her head. I can see her. She's the only one that's moving. That's hilarious. Okay, so whatever it is that you want in this business, you need to start feeling what it's like to accomplish that goal. And if you don't, here's the thing, is if you aren't visualizing what you want in this business, you'll never accomplish it because you don't know what it feels like. And if you never felt like it feels like, you don't care getting there because you haven't felt it. So for example, if you want to stay at home with your kids, or if you want to stop working at the job that you hate, you have to start thinking about what it means to do that and what it feels like waking up in the morning and not having to wake up to that alarm clock and like going, oh my gosh, I can do whatever I want today. and what it feels like to picking your kids up from the bus stop, or what it feels like to doing open mic night because that was your favorite thing ever to do, or what it feels like, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to know what it feels like. And then here's the key is when you aren't close to that goal, you keep going because nothing's going to stop you because you know what it feels like to get there. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's my next thing. That's like the visualization. And I do that for 1 minute. And I go as far as like, if I'm imagining being on the beach, I feel the warm sand in between my toes. All right. I feel it. I know what it feels like. So I'm not going to stop. All right. Okay. Next one is positive affirmations. I choose 4 positive affirmations that, okay, now this is not just like, I am sexy, I am strong. Okay. No, like these are, he talks about in this book, and this was really good. We talked about that your positive affirmations need to focus on what you want your ideal life to be. So like, I am going to be a successful entrepreneur. Like I say that every morning. I am going to lead strong women and opportunities with business and be a successful entrepreneur. And I repeat that over and over and over. So I have 4. So I repeat each of them about 10 times. And I just allow myself to believe that because I know it's going to be true. All right. So don't pick random ones. Pick ones that are true to you. The next thing is, and again, this kind of goes with the last one, but visualizing, that goes with the, I think I already said that. Sorry. Like the visualizing one. Sorry. Skip that. That was the last one. My next one is, I like to just put a load of laundry in. I know it sounds silly, but it makes me feel good. If my laundry is dirty, like I take it out, I change it, I put a load in, and I'm like, okay, good. I have a load of laundry in the load before like 7 a.m. That makes me feel good. That might take more than a minute, but I get it done. And then I have an empty book by my bed, and it's for journaling, and that's my last minute. And that is ideas, thoughts, reviews, anything that I had an aha moment from my last 5 minutes, anything that I want to remember, anything that makes me think and push myself to be a better coach, a better wife, anything, I just journal it. And I just put a date, and then I put the stuff that I have thought about. And you'll be shocked and surprised by that becoming your favorite activity. I call it my gratitude journal. And so I just take a couple things to be proud of, to be excited about, to be thinking about, that kind of stuff. Okay. So that all goes with number 1, which is find your 6-minute morning. Mine, okay, of course, you could go exercise. If you get up in the morning, you need to work, you need to go to work. That could be part of your miracle morning. I work out after I drop off my kids to the bus stop, and I get back home, and it's like 7:20. So that's when I typically work out. Between 7:20 and 8:20 is my workout time. So I don't get up at 5:30 in the morning to work out. I get up at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning to do my 6-minute miracle morning. And then I wake up my kids at 6:30, and I get all that stuff done with that. So whatever it is for you, you need to figure it out when you need to do that. But I promise you, if you start doing that every single morning, you're going to change the way that you think. I forgot the main one, personal development. Okay, I do 5 minutes of personal development. Sorry, that's another one. So instead of 1 minute, I do it to 5, and then I'm listening to personal development throughout the day. Okay, in the podcast, and my team knows I do that. So again, let me repeat those for you. I make my bed. I have purposeful silence or gratitude prayer. I just pray. I have faith, whatever it is that you want that makes you feel good. Maybe it's positive thoughts. I visualize what I want and to see happening in today. So like if it's today, for example, maybe I visualize talking to 3 people and having positive conversations and reaching out to my coaches. And I visualize what it's going to be like a year from now when I reach my goals. And pick positive. I do 4 affirmations, and I truly want to try to believe them. And if I don't believe them now, I will believe them by 30 days after I keep continuously repeating them. I do my personal development and my load of laundry and my journaling. Okay, it doesn't matter what order, except that I do make my bed first, and I typically do my personal development the last thing before and this is all kind of when I'm in bed, except for the load of laundry, obviously. Then I come downstairs, and then I take the dishes out, and I put a load of dishes in. Then at that point, I get my kids to school, and then I can start working out, and then I do my power hour when my kid's napping. Okay, so here's the next thing. Number 2, Taryn talked a lot about this. So that's all goes with number 1, find your miracle morning. And then number 2 is be purposeful and intentional. I promise you, like, if you just try to figure it out, it's not going to work. If you just try to like throw things up and don't have any intention with it at all, it's not going to work. If you don't have if you're not intentional about talking to people every day, about creating this opportunity to people every day, about being passionate about something within Beachbody or fitness every single day, it's not going to happen for you. So you have to be purposeful and intentional with your time, because you guys, and just with who you are as a coach, because you should value your time and no one else should treat your business like a business more than you. So you have to be very purposeful in the order of who you talk to in private messaging, and whether or not you're going to stop your workout and answer 5 texts, whether or not you're going to, answer, I don't know, like a text from a coach versus a customer. Like, I have an order system of, okay, I'm going to talk to all my customers first, then I'll talk to all my personally sponsored coaches next, and then I'll talk to all of my downline. And I do that, I try to do that so that I am somewhat organized, okay? And if people don't understand my time and respect my time, then that's on them, that's not on me, okay? So I'm very intentional. I plan out my month, I plan out my week. I know exactly how, like, I know that in general, I'm gonna post about the business opportunity twice a week. I know that I'm going to post my workouts every day. I know that I'm going to post about Shakeology every day now, because I'm doing the 365-er. Okay, so this is very strange. I'm just going to keep talking because everyone's frozen. So I think it's my connection, but I'm just going to keep talking. So that's number 2, be purposeful and intentional. Number 3 is, someone once told me this, and it was like a aha came into my head. I was like, well, like we've all heard set your work hours, okay? So you have to set your work hours. Taryn said that. Like, if you just think you're gonna wake up and like get fitted in, like, it's not gonna happen. So like, my work hours are like after I do my 6 minutes, I have about 30 minutes before my kids wake up, and I'm usually downstairs on the couch or walking around and messaging people or doing those things before my kids get up, and I work off this, my power hour, okay? And I just go down my list, and that's what I'm doing. But the thing that people have never heard is to set your hours when you're not working, because it's very important to understand that your time is valuable. And we work on an internet that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you think that you have to answer every single person and message back every single person and do it within 10 seconds, you're gonna go crazy. And so you really need to set your hours when you're going to work, your power hour. You should be at least scheduling 1 hour a day if you work full time, broken into 5, 15, 20-minute increments, and then at least 2 hours or more if you can, if you're not working, if you want to try to build this business. So be purposeful and intentional, but also set your hours, and set your hours when you're not going to work. Okay. So I don't work after 2:14. My kids get home from the bus. Let me give you an example. Today, I got nothing. That's not a great example because I wasn't purposeful today. But today I felt like I didn't get enough done, what I needed to get done, because I'm dealing with some doctor's appointments. I was on hold for like 2 hours on a call. I'm dealing with insurance problems. And so I was dealing with all this stuff when I was supposed to be doing my power hour. But that stuff's more important at this particular time. So today it was. So before I know it, it's like 2:14, and I've literally not invited anyone, not talked to anyone, not done anything with my power hour. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 2:14, my kid's gonna get home. So I thought, I'll just tell my kids, give me an hour and like, I'll come, we can hang out then. But that's not how I want to run my life, because I want them right when they arrive from home. I want to do chores with them, which we do. I want to do their homework with them, which is what we do. I want to sit with them and ask them about their day. Those are the 3 things that are very important to me. And that's the reason why I work this job, so I can be at home with my kids. And if I just decided I'm going to work when they're home, I'm going to let them sit, because the number one thing I wanted to think was let them sit in front of the TV for an hour. That's what I thought originally. I'm just gonna be honest. And I didn't do that. And I felt so good because I didn't do that. I felt so good come dinner time. I was like, you know what? Like, I did exactly what I needed to do. My kids did their homework on their computers. They did their homework with them. I sat down with them and asked them about their days. I haven't even started working, and it's, you know, I wanted to do this power hour. So when can I fit this in? That's not going to affect my priorities. So the other priority is getting my kids to bed around 7:30, and then my husband knows that I work from 7:30 to 9. So instead of, you know, doing other things that I do during that time, I will just do my power hour. I will do my invites. I will do the things that I missed earlier today, and I will get it done. And that's my priority. And I hope that makes sense. And then come 9 o'clock, unless my husband is sick, asleep, or like out of the house, I don't work. And now sometimes I'll message people and I'm writing back and forth because he's sleeping next to me, and that's okay. But if I'm sitting next to him and he's like, hey, do you want to watch a movie, or do you want to do something, like, I'm not going to work. So I schedule time not to work, start 9 p.m. And that is so important, because for the longest time I put my husband down on the list, and that is not okay in a relationship. And so it's very important to understand that your kids come first, your husband come first, your priorities come first. Granted, if you have priorities and you do that, you have to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. You can't say, oh, I'm never going to work when my child is around, or I'm never going to work when my husband's around, because we work in the internet base. Like, my kid, I do work. My kids know that I work. Like, I message people when I'm at the grocery store sometimes, and I'm in the parking lot waiting for my daughter at her piano lessons, and I'm working, and she knows that. But come 2:14, my kids know that I'm going to be home with them, I'm going to be present with them, and that the internet and these people that is my job are not more important than them. And that's something that's very important to me. And my husband knows that I'm going to put him first. Am I perfect? No. Can I always do better? Yes. But you need to make sure that you are scheduling your hours and when to work and when not to work. And that's been the biggest aha thing for me, is I schedule not to work, because I'm a pretty go-getter. And, you know, I would say that I can get caught up because I'm very, very passionate about things, and I want to finish things, like just spending too much time on something, which doesn't need to be done. And then I become a workaholic, and I want to do that. I didn't become a Beachbody coach to be at home with my kids, to be on the internet every day, every second of the day. Okay. So number 4, number 1 is find your miracle morning. Number 2 is be purposeful and intentional. Number 3 is set your hours to work and hours when not to work. And then number 4 is focus on what you want and what you want your power hour to look like as you grow in this business. So, like, I would say a new coach's power hour is very different than a coach that has been in this business for 2 years. And it is up to you to decide what your power hour needs to be. But I promise you this, that there has to be at least 3 things that are non-negotiable, which is your invites, your follow-ups, okay, and your reach outs, which are, and your, you know, and in general, intertwined in that is posting on social media, because that's how we run our business. But those are the 3 things, and this is not a call about power hour, but you have to figure out what you're going to do. And my team has their power hour. And what I do is I put it into my binder, and then it's under plastic, and I check it off each day. And then that way I don't have to reprint it up, and I just use it every single day, so I can see how intentional I am with my time. The more often I stick with this, the better I am, and the more I feel my priorities in line. I feel like I'm not wasting time. I feel like I'm focused. You can do every one of these things in about an hour to hour and 15 minutes. I've done it over and over and over and over. So it's, you know, doing your personal development, which I don't necessarily do that during my power hour because I do it all day long. So yes, I get that done. Adding 2 to 5 people to your network, making sure you're doing your reach outs and talking to people, making sure that you're inviting 2 to 5 people to the coach opportunity. These are all things that it should be a non-negotiable. I'm telling you right now, I talk to 10, 15 star diamonds and diamonds, and the ones that are successful or that you think are successful are not anyone that are doing anything secret. They are just constantly consistent. They are just constantly inviting people and constantly talking to people. So you need to figure out by tomorrow what your power hour looks like. When is your time? When are you going to work your business? What are you doing during those hours that you're working your business? And you better not tell me that you're going to just decide when you wake up at 9 in the morning. Because I'm telling you, I did that for 2 years. And passion only goes so far. You can be passionate about something, and you can make Success Club for a few a hot minute and you can do certain things for a little bit of time. But after that, you're going to be stuck and you're going to go, oh crap, what am I doing? And that is not duplicatable. But what is duplicatable and teaching your team is working off a power hour. I am able to show my team that, yes, you can build your business by doing these behaviors. And 9 out of 10 times my coaches are struggling, it's because they are not inviting, or they're not talking to people, or they're not doing those things, okay? So if you don't know what a power hour, if you don't have a power hour list, ask Taryn or ask myself. I'd be more than happy to share mine with you. You can Google, I swear to God, you can Google Power Hour Beachbody and hundreds of them come up. There is no right or wrong one. In fact, I'm going to do my power hour, but on top I'm going to add my miracle morning. And so every morning I just am reminded what I'm doing. I don't necessarily know if I need a checkoff system as much as my miracle morning. It's not about checking things off. It's about making me feel good. So those things make me feel good. Making my bed makes me feel good. So I want to do those things, okay? And sometimes your power hour, there's things on there that you might not be good at. And so you just got to get better at it. And you just got to keep doing it. And you just got to, like, if it says invite 2 to 5 people, like, you have to invite 2 to 5 people a week to the opportunity, unless you're never going to grow. And if it says to invite and find new friends, like, you have to get new friends. Like, come on, people, you got to do it. And if you don't do it, you're never going to grow. So those are the things. Like, if you want to be successful, you're going to do that. You're going to work off your power hour list. And I'm telling you, since I've started this and implemented this, I'm so much less stressed. I feel so much more balanced. I feel like I am not always thinking about everything I need to do with Beachbody, because I'm already doing it on my power. There are days that I struggle, and I do struggle just like any of you, but on the days that I focus on my power hour list is the best. Okay, my number 5, which is my biggest advice, is you have to, for 2016, redefine yourself, okay? Redefine your own success. In 2015, it may or may not have happened the way that you want. It may, you may have been disappointed in yourself. You may have been really excited about yourself, like what happened. You may see a lot of things that you want to change. No matter what happened, honestly, it's in the past. 2016 is here to redefine your success. You have to ask yourself, what does success mean to me, and how am I going to get there? All right. If being a 10-star diamond does not float your boat, then you should not try to be a 10-star diamond. All right. If success means to you staying at home with your children and making 6 figures, that's what you should aim for. All right. You need to define what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, if you're doing what everyone else tells you that you should be doing, then you're never going to be happy in this business. But I will tell you this. Okay, there are steps that most successful coaches take, which are, yes, rank advancing and finding leaders on their team. But that does not mean that you have to do it at a certain pace or a certain rate. You have to redefine what success means to you. Meaning this, I probably could have been a 10-star diamond by now. Let's just say that. But I choose to only work 20 hours a week. And I choose to only work 20 hours a week because I know what it's been like to work 40 hours a week. And I don't want to work 40 hours a week. I want to work 20 hours a week, and I want to help as many coaches as I can be successful, but redefining my own success. And with those 20 hours a week, I've built a 6-figure income. I've helped other coaches build 6-figure incomes. I've helped my coaches be successful. I've helped coaches walk away from their jobs, and I'm able to see my challenge groups be successful. I'm able to be happy because those are things that make me happy. All right. You have to tell yourself, what makes me happy, and I'm going to go for that. And it could be very different. Some people are very rank orientated, like your 15-star is just like there, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people are very money orientated. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people, like, you just have to redefine what success means to you and then go for that. And once you go for that, and once you aim for that, nothing's going to get in your way, because it's like, I'm going for what success means to me. But I will tell you this, a lot of times, don't use it as a cop-out, and that's the last thing I'm going to tell you, is that don't say, well, I don't really care about rank advancing. Kiana says that I can be successful however I want, so I'm not going to rank advance. But really, you're just tricking yourself into believing that you don't care. If you're scrolling the news feeds and you're getting anxiety because everyone else is rank advancing except you better believe that you effing care, okay? So if you care, which is not a problem, then start working towards that. And start pushing yourself a little bit harder, because you are only going to be, the thing is that we only push ourselves outside our comfort zone if we do it every day. We have to do it a little bit each day, a little bit, and it becomes a little bit easier. And then at the end of the day, you can say, okay, I redefined my success today, and success means to me that I talked to 5 people. And it means that I helped 3 people start to believe in themselves. And it means I helped my child, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be about business, okay? I'm just saying, redefine your success. If you spend quality time with your kid for 30 minutes a day playing Legos, maybe that's what you need. All right? Maybe that's what you need. I don't know, but you have to figure out what it is you want for success and go for that. You guys have everything that you need at your fingertips. You have awesome trainings. Honestly, I say this over and over and over. All the personal development books in the world are available on the library and free on podcasts. You just have to be the biggest project that you're working on every single day. And if you choose not to work on yourself, you're going to slow and you're never going to grow. And then you're going to be, a year from now, I'm going to be giving you the same dang speech. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, Kiana, what happened in 2016? So don't do that. And sometimes you surprise the hell out of yourself, but you'll never surprise the heck out of yourself if you don't try, if you don't push yourself, if you don't get out of your comfort zone. And that's the things that you need to make sure that you're working on. So those are my 5 tips. I'll repeat real quick so you have them, and then I will let you go, or you can ask questions or whatever, we can go, because I know I've been talking too much. Number 1, find your miracle morning, whatever that is. I would say keep it between 5 and 7 things. Push towards that. Number 2, okay, be purposeful and intentional. Like, your time is valuable. Show other people that your time is valuable. All right? Be purposeful about how you're going to work this business. Be a smart business owner. All right? Number 3, set your hours. When are you going to work? And when you're not going to work. Number 4, focus on what you want and what your power hour is going to look like. All right? Tell yourself that your power hour is just a stairway towards your dreams, because you got to do it every single day. Number 5, redefine your own success. You will only be happy if you follow your heart. All right? And hustle towards that. Hustle towards what your heart tells you. Don't hustle towards what I tell you to do or anyone else tells you to do. And I tell my coaches this all the time. I want to push you. I want to motivate you to be better and try more and do bigger and better things. But if you don't want that, you're not going to be happy. So I want you, my goal is to help my coaches reach their goals and to feel successful. And every one of you have the capability to lead very strong teams, if that's your wish. But you have to decide what it is that you want. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is I'm doing a goal-making vision party the 3rd week of the month, which is like in 2 weeks, and it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be on Zoom, and it's going to be about building your vision and your dreams and focusing on those for 2016. And that's all I got.
You are awesome. I was taking notes, and I love how you talk with your hands, and you are everything that you should be and more. So thank you so much for sharing what you did. You guys, just one last thing that I wanted to leave you guys with, because Kiana gave us a ton of information and great stuff. It was just really to think about how you can refocus your life and have purpose with it. But here is something that you have to do for yourself as part of that is you need to quiet the noise. And what I mean by that is if you are in 18 groups of different coaching things, you need to focus on the ones that are going to be a priority and are really going to help aid your business and give you the nuggets that you need to succeed. Because if you're in these 18 groups and trying to keep up with what everybody's saying, and it goes back to what I initially had said before Kiana got on, is if that you're finding you're scrolling through your newsfeed and that's all that you're reading and you're reading what everyone else is posting, that is not an income producing activity. So quiet the noise, get yourself out of groups that are not providing value to you. Just get out of them, or turn off the notifications and go and check on them when you need. If you're like, hey, you know what, I haven't seen this group in a while, go back in. But don't feel like you need to be a part of every single group if it is not going to be income producing for you or give you the value that you need to help move your business forward. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for myself or Kiana, or have anything that they want to share? I wanted to leave a couple minutes. If you guys have questions for her, please feel free to ask. I'm going to leave the chat box open because I have everybody muted because we have so many of us. Michelle,
Taryn,
yeah?
Sorry, can I say something just real quick, like
Please.
30 seconds?
Please.
Taryn and I go way back. and the reason I'm so passionate about like doing a power hour and being intentional with your time is because all of those areas I just shared with you, I struggled with a lot, like a ton. And because I struggled with that, I got a lot of anxiety, and then I wanted to give up, and then I wanted to quit, and then I felt like, you know, like I was so overwhelmed. And that's not what this should be. It should be something that you're purposeful. And if you don't set a time frame, and you don't set your standards, and you don't set yourself as a valuable, you know, like with your work hours and your power hour, you're going to get burnt out. And that's the bottom line. And both Taryn and I have been there. We've both been there to the point where it's like, we have to decide, are we going to keep going this route? Because what you do today needs to be duplicatable in 5 years from now. That's really what it's all about. If you're, you know, that's all I have to say. You're going to burn out. So just make sure that you're working on that, because I don't want any of you to burn out.
And if you guys are feeling on the verge,
anyone have any questions?
I was just going to say, if anyone's feeling on the verge of burnout, please, please, please tell your coach, tell me, tell Kiana, tell Andy, tell Christine. I mean, whoever is your coach that you're working with, tell them that you're getting burnt out before you decide to throw in the towel, because it could be just one little thing. Like Kiana said, we both have had these moments, and I have wanted to throw in the towel, and she kind of gave me a come to Jesus talk. It was exactly what I needed. And, you know, she was there at one point too, and I tried my best to give her what she needed, despite where my distractions were.
You did.
But that's what you need, and that's what we are here as a community. So just find that ownership of where you need to be. And if you need to step back for a minute, it's okay. But just quiet the noise. That's all I can say. It's what I'm going to leave you with. If anyone has questions, please just throw them on the group chat so I can unmute you. If I unmute everyone's lines, we have so many of you that it's just going to sound really hairy.
Questions, comments, anything? They're so like tired and just, you know, ready to go, that they're going to get off the phone and do their power hour.
Every video. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being on. And
you guys, you know, I appreciate it.
What?
I said the same exact thing as you. Sorry.
Oh, we like share.
I was just saying, thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you to Kiana for sharing all that you did. That miracle morning, I've heard so much about it. So now that I'm convinced I need to get that next. You guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. Go to bed. Do something great for yourself, and let's attack it tomorrow. But make sure you know what you're doing tomorrow, right? Like Kiana said, don't wake up and wing it. All right, you guys. We'll talk
Thanks for being on the call, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.